Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I've got something a little bit different here. This is the Tomy kit version of the Zoids Berserk Fuhrer, or as those of us in the US, I think, knew it as the Berserk Fury. It was changed, I think, probably for obvious reasons. But anyway, so this is a kit that I think will be a pretty fun, pretty interesting kit to review for you guys. I watched that Zoids series that played on Toonami. I know it does have a specific name. Anyway, I don't know. I just knew it as Zoids, and I loved watching that on Toonami way back in the day. It was fun to watch. I don't think I've really watched the series since then, so I don't know how it still holds up. But it was fun at the time, and I remember the Berserk Fuhrer being a really cool thing. It's a giant robot dinosaur with these huge cannon scissor blade things on its back. It's pretty cool. So this kit was actually provided to me by Samurai Buyer. Masaki got in touch with me there and wanted to promote some Zoids because recently we got the announcement of a new Zoids series coming out, and apparently Tomy is going to be making some new Zoids kits from that new series. So I thought, cool, as you guys know, I've recently picked up a couple new Kotobukiya Zoids kits. I know that you guys do enjoy seeing some Zoids reviews every now and then, and honestly, there's not really that many of them that I'm really personally interested in. That's why I don't really have that many of them. That's why I don't really review them very often. But there are a few that I think are really cool, and this is one of them. Actually, it was kind of a sort of funny story, just a miscommunication between us. I was actually supposed to be reviewing the Kotobukiya HMM version of this, but just due to our miscommunication, this was the one that they sent me instead. Not a big deal because I thought I've heard about the Tomy kits and how the Kotobukiya kits are much better, but this will at least give me a chance to try it out for myself and see and let you guys know how they compare. To be honest, as at the moment I've only built one of the Kotobukiya HMM kits and it was pretty amazing. So I'll give this a try and just see how it compares. It's a different type of design. This is a Tyrannosaur type, whereas the one that I built before was a Liger. The Kotobukiya one is a Liger kit, so it's a little bit different in terms of like the design, but at least I can give you guys a kind of overall comparison with just my thoughts between the two different brands. That being said, I do still want to get the Kotobukiya version of this later on down the line, so hopefully you guys will be able to see me review that later on, and then maybe at that time I can give you a direct review comparison between the two of these, the Tomy version and the Kotobukiya version. But for the time being, let's just take a look at this. So yeah, if you guys do want to check out Zoids kits and all of that stuff, of course you can find all that stuff on Samurai Buyer. You can just scour their pages there, whether it be the normal sale pages or the auction pages. Actually, when I looked through some of the stuff on there, looking at the Zoids kits before, I actually found a lot better deals looking on the auction pages. So do look into that if you're interested. Anyway, so this has a whole bunch of stuff on here. It's kind of, let's break it down. It has some technical specs here on the front. It also has this. It's the Side of Empire. I'm not really sure what that's related to, but I guess that's just kind of the name of this series of kits. It's number 49, so I didn't really know that many of these existed, but apparently they do, at least 49 of them. This is level 6 kit, I guess, and that's sort of comparable to like that difficulty level that they used to have like for Gunpla kits way back in the day in the United States. That was just kind of silly. Here on the side of the box we can see the Berserk Fury with those claws open up. They have a name for that. I can't remember offhand. I just recently, a couple weeks ago, in preparation for this, read the wiki page on this, and I can't remember what those are called, but anyway. Just some more information there. Here on the bottom of the box, you can see my box is a little bit beat up. This is obviously a pre-owned box, and this kit is from 2001. You can see you do have the date here on the bottom. So 2001 is a pretty old kit, and this box has obviously seen better days, but as long as the material inside is intact, then I'm not really too worried about it. It's just a box. So here on the top of the box, we can see some of the gimmicks of it, and one thing that this kit does have is that it is motorized. I guess you can remote control it, radio control it, remote control it. That's a remote control, right? I'm not sure if that's included. We'll see when we open the box, but I know it is just at least like motorized. It will just kind of like go scoot along on its own or something. Cockpit hatch in the head opens up, and then just some gimmicks here about other stuff that it can do. It can put its feet down and open up its tail. I guess that's for like the firing pose, and then here is just showing you kind of like what just the Zoids frame there, and then all the armor parts that are going around on that. Actually, I remembered when it first appeared in the show, it appeared without all the extra armor on it. It was just the frame fighting the Liger and other, what was it anyway? That's how it appeared at first in the series. So let's get this opened up. We have our manual here, so why don't we just take a look at this first while we're here, before my desk gets too messy pulling everything else out of the box. So it's a pretty interesting manual. Actually, the Kotobukiya manual, now that I think about it, was in this same kind of format, not like your typical Bandai format where it's more vertical. It is this horizontal format, so that's a similar point anyway between the two. The Kotobukiya manual, though, I believe, if I remember correctly, was in all color. So then here's just the parts layout. Again, it does look very similar to a Kotobukiya kit in terms of the parts layout. So here's the instructions. Now this is going to be pretty interesting. So you are building like some of the mechanical aspects of that for the motorized part. So that's kind of interesting. And then you're just kind of building up the parts around that. It doesn't really look like the most complicated build. The box is not that big. It's 1/72 scale, which I believe is the same scale as the Kotobukiya version, but I can tell you this box is definitely smaller than the box for the Kotobukiya version. That one's quite big. So pretty interesting instructions here. Like I said, I've never built a Tomy kit before, and it's quite different, but I mean, essentially it's the same, but it's like, this is for like elderly people. Why is it so huge? Everything is like gigantic, all the numbers and diagrams, everything. I think they could have made this in like using half the paper that they did for this manual, because they really could have sized this down a little bit. I don't think anyone really needs it that huge. Anyway, getting near to the end of the construction, we're finally putting the legs on and then building kind of the backpack parts. Let's see if there's anything else interesting here. Once we got the backpack on, and then there's just an on-off switch. Looks like there's 2 on switches, maybe high and low speed, I guess. I'm not really sure what this is saying. I'll have to check out my phone translator app, but with that huge red X on there and all those arrows, it makes for a very funny illustration there. I'm not really sure what's going on, but that's okay. And this last bit seems to be for plugging in the radio control. So, all right, let's open up the box and see what all is actually included here with this or not. All right, so here in this first bag, this looks interesting. What do we got here? A few things. This is like your basic parts order form in case you need to order something or a survey or something maybe. A couple of really big parts here. We have some sticker decals, so that's kind of interesting. And then some of the parts here, those do seem to be kind of like soft rubber. And you can see our pilot figure inside there as well. And then a Zoids card here. I'm guessing that was from some Zoids trading card game back in the day. And there's a few more just like random parts just floating around in there. We have some very large parts for this. I gotta say these parts look quite big, so I'm not sure exactly how big this kit is going to be when it's all said and done. But it looks like it's going to be pretty sizable if these parts are anything to go off. So this right here, I'm sure, is like the part for the side of the head, and that's pretty sizable. So it's actually going to be, I think, bigger than what I was expecting. So that's interesting. Our last few runners here, just some more, just kind of, yeah, just a lot of really large parts. The kind of blades for the weapons do look like they're sort of like metallic, silver kind of plastic. And then here at the bottom, we have our kind of pre-built motorized parts. So you can see we've got this guy here, which I guess would be kind of our main motor, and this part here for the switch on the back. So that basically later in the construction will just plug onto there like that. So no radio control in the box. So I guess that was maybe something that was sold separately. That makes sense. I guess that they would kind of sell that separately as something that you don't really particularly need. But yeah, so that's pretty interesting. So that's going to be it for the unboxing, guys. I won't go through all the different runners because I don't really think I particularly need to. I think you guys could pretty much see enough of that. I just want to give you guys a general idea about what you're going to get in the box. If you are going to be buying one of these kits, I'll get this built up and let you guys know my thoughts. It should be a very interesting experience. I've certainly never built a kit with a motor in it, so I don't really know. I don't expect it's going to be very difficult or anything. It's just going to be an interesting new experience. So I'm always looking forward to something like that. And that's going to be it for this video. Again, big thanks to Samurai Buyer and Misaki there. And thank you guys, as always, for watching. Leave any other questions, comments. If you guys have ever built any of the Tomy Zoids kits, let me know what your thoughts and experiences are down in the comment section below. Other than that, guys, I'll see you in the review. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.